It's NFL 22 on EA Sports, and we've got a showdown in the AFC South. It's the Colts and the Texans, next on EA Sports.
From the stadium that hosted Super Bowl 51 back in 2017, we are inside NRG Stadium in Houston. They do it big here in Houston, and a second ago it was a Texas-sized welcome for their hometown guys. They're fired up and ready to go as they get set to match up with the Indianapolis Colts. Brandon Gaudin alongside the one and only Charles Davis. And CD, lots of compelling storylines in a game like this. Let's take a look at some of the numbers for these two offenses.
And I'm glad you brought up the numbers because sometimes it's hard to quantify a team's performance solely by judging the numbers. But I think with these two teams, what you see is a pretty accurate representation of who they are.
Desmond King now to return it. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. And the Texans set to take over on offense, and we see them led out by their veteran quarterback in his 11th season in the NFL, but first in the Lone Star State, Tyrod Taylor.
One of the classiest quarterbacks in the NFL and always in a difficult position because he has the skills to be a starter, but there's usually a youngster behind him that they're grooming and they want on the field. But when given an opportunity to be the guy, he's led teams to the playoffs and he's also gone to the Pro Bowl. A great combination of arm and legs, not to mention a brilliant mind.
Let's go, D.
On 1st and 10, it's Taylor. That's caught by his tight end, Jordan Akins. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down. A first carry now. This is Johnston. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Really good stop there by the end in this 4-3 defense.
And not just pass rushers anymore, are they? Those guys can use their hands, control the point of attack, shed those blockers, and go get those ball carriers.
To avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Here's Taylor. It's complete to Chris Conley. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Had to put that ball in there with a little extra zip, but he put it right where it needed to be.
Yeah, and that little extra pace that he had on the pass, that required a little extra concentration for him, didn't it? Ball can get on you pretty quick in that manner, and he handled it well and picked up the first down.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. From the shotgun, it's Taylor. Pass incomplete. The intended receiver was David Johnston, but now it's 3rd down.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now it's Taylor. Buying time to his left. And he'll hit the deck, but he did not get there. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a first down.
The Texans' new punter for 2021, Cameron Johnston, on to punt. Back deep for the Colts, Nyheim Hines. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. The Colts getting ready to take over for the first time, and you get a look at their 6-year quarterback in his first season wearing the horseshoe. It's Carson Wentz.
So this is where we find out about the game plan and the trust factor, don't we? In this situation, the natural thing is take care of the ball, run it inside, everyone cover it. Just, get yourself some room and let your punter punt it out of there. But when you really got a QB you can trust, you might want to take a little shot early and try and create some space.
And he managed to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
Well, in every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Wentz going to give this to Taylor. And not much there at all, as he'll get this only up to about the 11. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down. A big connection on that one. 30 yards.
That one was defensively. They force him into 3rd and long, had the advantage, yet they give up the big play right there.
Yeah, their offense was already warming up on the sideline, ready to come out. So much for that 3 and out. Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10. They give to Taylor out of the gun. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough and run supported. I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
2nd down, another run with Taylor. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Nyheim Hines, his first carry. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
He's brought down at the 39-yard line.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On the handoff, Taylor. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Typical 6 brings up 2nd and 4 at the 33-yard line.
2nd and 4. From the gun, it's Wentz. He'll take a shot downfield for Pittman. Got a man, it's Pittman, and he holds it in for the Colts touchdown. Michael Pittman, 33 yards. And the Colts are going to take a first-quarter lead. And they use that height on the outside to get the score.
We've seen the evolution of the wide receivers. They've gotten taller and taller, but they've retained their quickness and their speed. It's a lethal combination.
Always good to have wide receivers with height. Michael Badgley on for the extra point. And this is good to make it 7-0 Indy. So that drive in total 8 plays. And the result for the Colts is a touchdown. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. Here's Desmond King on the return. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Let's go!
So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
They'll throw on first down with Taylor. And that's incomplete.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
Taylor incomplete on first down. Here's 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, it's Taylor. And he will find Davis. That's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you make curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. On first down, it's Johnston. Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. but that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Personal foul. This is roughing the passer.
So a pretty early first quarter roughing the passer penalty.
Seems like the officials are going to let everyone know they're taking charge of this game. They're always going to protect the quarterback.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Taylor. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. The rookie from Michigan, Kwity Paye, paying first-year dividends with a takedown there. Tell you what, he did not have much time there to scan the field before he was ducking and covering.
Did it appear to you, as it did to me, that the defensive front won their play really quickly? Meaning the guys in front of them had almost no chance to block them. They were on him in a hurry.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Play action, it's Taylor. He'll buy some time right. And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. A heck of an effort there on the scramble, leaves him with just 3rd and a yard. I thought they were going to sack him there like they did on first down. Great coverage, but he found a way to move with his legs.
Yeah, his ability to take off, not only did he get some yardage back, he got a little bit extra. Really helps him on 3rd down, makes it manageable now.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnston. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27.
We ought to come up with a T-shirt and sell it that says, no indecision on 3rd and 1. And we didn't see it on that run, did we? Got his shoulder square, just got right into the line of scrimmage and picked it up.
Absolutely. Picked his lane, went with it, and converted. Throwing now, Taylor on 1st down. It's caught by Davis. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys. Mike, 53.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
There is something to a game plan when trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they run successful.
Second and 10. From the gun, it's Taylor. And his throw is incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here and 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Now it's Taylor. Flushed out right. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
I liked his effort there. He got it done on his own, but let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the 1st down.
A 28-yard attempt.
Fairbairn. So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time.
Wait, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the time, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Throwing is Wentz. And this will be incomplete.
And I can see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now a give to Taylor. And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee? Left tackle Eric Fisher, the former Kansas City Chief, the guilty party. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Working from the gun, Wentz. Complete to Hilton. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a 1st down if not for that penalty moments ago.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. Wentz now to throw. And he'll find Pittman. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the 1st.
We got this.
How about the 1st quarter he's putting together out wide? Pretty impressive.
I think that he likes the fact that we're playing this as a day game. You know, some guys, they respond better in the evenings. For some reason, it builds up. For this guy, day game, and he is off and running. You're exactly right. 100 might be conservative with the start that he's had here in the 1st quarter.
Yeah, by the numbers, he's on pace for 200+ right now. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Again, it's Wentz. He's got it to Hilton. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. So the completion there, Charles, looking at this defense, certainly in for a tough task here this afternoon. What are some of the keys for them if they want to come out on top?
Well, the first thing, partner, is they just allowed a completion there. They don't want to get a string of those going. Let him get his confidence. Let him get into the rhythm of the game, the flow of the game, and all of a sudden, he's feeling like he can do no wrong. You want to really get after his timing a little bit, knock a few balls away, and make things uncomfortable for him. Because if he feels relaxed, you are in for a tough afternoon.
After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Colts in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. On the handoff, this is Taylor. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45.
That's the type of run that Jonathan Taylor gives you so often, and you just can't take it for granted. He finds a way to get those extra yards. The 3rd running back taken in the 2020 draft, but he had the best numbers by far of any of them. 1,169 yards, third most in the NFL, and by the last quarter of the season, he ranked among the best runners in the league.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 44-yard line. Here's Taylor. He was brought down by Kamu Grugier-Hill.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Wentz going to throw. His throw incomplete. T.Y. Hilton, the intended receiver, and that'll make it 3rd down. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. For whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when the next defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
A 56-yard attempt.
And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. As a kicker from that distance, 56, 57 yards, so many things you got to worry about. But I am a little surprised he didn't get it there.
Yeah, with the way kickers are nowadays, we're surprised anything under 65 that it doesn't get at least to the crossbar. But remember this. You have to drive it a little bit lower in order to make that distance, and you also have to be worried about the interior rush that they can get their hands on it. So that's why those stronger kickers nowadays who can pop it up in the air and still travel and carry it, that's what you're looking for.
So the missed 56-yarder, and now the flip side. Good starting field position at the 46 near midfield. They go play action with Taylor. He's got his target, Chris Conley. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
Partner, he got the DB on his horse on that play. He certainly sold like it was going to be a deep route before breaking it back on the comeback towards the sideline.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Out of the pistol, here's Johnston. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
I think we can safely say that those types of players are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Taylor will throw. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Taylor. Working the middle, and he's got it complete to Akins, the tight end. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
2nd down at 4. Now a handoff. Johnson. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9.
Yeah, Strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
On 1st and goal, they'll try the option left. A good display of power, but it will only get him just inside the 5 to the 4. 5 yards, a good run there, and now 2nd and goal. Now that's what he can do, when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Johnston again. Yeah, boy, from up here, I don't think Johnston got there. No, he did not. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4.
This defense is really floating around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense going to have to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
Can this defense hold them out? Here we go now. 4th and goal from the 2. They're going on 4th down. It's Taylor. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And this Colts defense comes up with a goal line stand. The Colts now, their offense works their way back onto the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Here's Wentz to throw. A good throw here, finding Pascal. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24.
That's a nice throw there, and he's obviously feeling pretty good because remember, he had a touchdown pass on the last drive, and here he comes out throwing again. And they wind up getting good yardage and a 1st down right out of the gate.
Wentz now on 1st down. And that one going to be off target and incomplete.
I think put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender. But you also have to give your own guy a chance, too.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now a handoff. Taylor with it. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
The Colts on 3rd down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Now Wentz. He'll check this down to Hines. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
And there was absolutely zero pressure on the quarterback on that play. 3rd down, and he has all the time in the world to eventually find an open receiver for a 1st down pickup.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Taylor gets past one man, and they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 51 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
Back to Taylor on 1st down. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Working with a 2nd and 3. From the gun, it's Wentz. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. Well, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes you're fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes, those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. After the interception, here's Taylor. And he'll find Akins there, complete. And he's got this down to the 35.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the 1st down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the gun, a run for Johnston. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Tackle made by Zaire Franklin.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The Texans on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. From the shotgun, it's Taylor. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
And that's why defenders are often frustrated offensive guys. Actually made the catch, looked good doing it, but couldn't get his feet down in order to finish off the takeaway.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the right hash, this from 53. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is. Now listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all state, at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
First and 10, Taylor now. They'll get only a couple down to the 44.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
From the 44, Wentz. And this is going to be incomplete. He was looking for Jack Doyle that time, and it'll bring up third down. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays, I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary here. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a first down.
That's a play that'll likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going, and if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Two minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Now, Wentz again. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
He certainly had a good game throwing the ball so far, but I think he was trying to take that from good to great with that throw, trying to get one downfield.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. To throw is Wentz. Out to the right and complete to Pittman. Touchdown! Carson Wentz with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Colts are able to grow their lead. Yeah, he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Here's Badgley now to try to add the PAT. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it culminates in an Indianapolis touchdown. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. On the return, here's King. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
Let's go. Let's do this.
The Texans take over first and 10.
And we move to spotlighting Brandon Cooks. With them losing here in the second quarter and his limited productivity so far, you'd have to think they're going to try to look to him a little bit more, right?
I would guess you would start to see maybe some quick screens, some hitches, anything to get the ball in his hands quickly and let him try and do some damage after the catch. Or maybe just flip some formations and keep him isolated where it's more of a one-on-one route and get the ball to him.
I say just 4 verts, right?
Hey, why not? 4 verts, one of the best routes in football. Hard to cover each guy all the way along the route.
So far, just 1 catch for him. Taylor's throw going to be caught by Davis. And he's brought down after a very nice gain.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
First down now, but that clock rolling. From midfield now, here's Taylor. Uncorks one for Davis. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Taylor. Forced out, and he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Tyrod Taylor, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Texans get a late score here in the final minute of the first half.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. And he's got it. That cuts the lead. It's now 14-10. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it was capped off by a Tyrod Taylor touchdown run. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. Here's Isaiah Rodgers to return. And able to get this out to the 25.
Let's go,
Colts football and Michael Pittman, helmet back on and ready to go. We're in the second quarter. He already has 2 touchdowns. We know how good he is. That's well documented. How do you contain him?
We know he's a nightmare. So in this situation, I would go ahead and double him, maybe even have a 3rd person in the area, and try and dissuade them from throwing him the football. Make someone else beat me for a while, because I don't know that their talents are his, because when he gets his hands on the ball, he breaks down my entire D. Someone else, they may not make the same type of a play.
Well, we know his talents are very good. He'll take a shot downfield for Pittman, and that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
And this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
On 2nd and 10, Wentz. He's got Jack Doyle. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. Shotgun now for Wentz. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll hit the deck, but he did not get there. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. Desmond King back deep. Yikes. Terrible kick headed straight for the sidelines. And this one goes sailing out of bounds. Where did it cross? Well, they're going to say on this side of midfield. Brandon Cooks and the rest of the offensive crew trotting back into place out there. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us, but sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. Now Taylor on 1st down. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Taylor out to the flat here for Johnston. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. So we come to halftime here with the visiting Colts taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports halftime report. First, though, a check of the next-gen stats in that first half for the Colts. And they've had some success on the ground. And with the lead going into the second half, they'll no doubt be looking to keep it going. Meanwhile, for the Texans, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. Here's Rodgers to return. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19.
Here we go.
Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. A carry by Taylor to start the drive. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. 80 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Good, strong, explosive run that started inside, which means you've got to control those defensive linemen, the defensive tackles, the nose guards. Those guys have to be controlled. How about the offensive line, the job they just did?
Yeah, key that A-gap usually on those runs, right?
That's where it all starts because everyone wants to kind of control that area. It disrupts things from the defensive side and the offensive side. As we just saw, it opens up possibilities.
Now a throw here to his running back. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
On second down, it's Taylor. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 46. They fake the give. Now Wentz. That is caught. Michael Pittman with it. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. The give to Taylor. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
At the 16-yard line.
Coming up on 2nd and 7. Now Wentz. And this is going to be caught. No, they say it's incomplete.
The coverage was good, but I just wonder if they absolutely fooled the quarterback on that play. I think he was expecting something else. Ended up with nowhere to throw the football successfully.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. And he'll only get this to the 14 as he'll come up well short of the 1st down. The keeper nets him only a yard, and that's going to bring up 4th.
That call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. Badgley able to punch this one through. And that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. To return it now, here's King. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now the quarterback, Tyrod Taylor, is our focus here in this player spotlight. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
They go to Johnston again. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Taylor. And that is incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Indy set to go on offense once more. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Wentz now on 1st down. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
On 2nd down now, it's Hines. He'll have a 1st down past the 40, and he'll get this all the way up to the 42-yard line. Well, CD, a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
Throwing on 1st is Wentz. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Working from the gun, Wentz. He'll get this one to Pittman. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40.
It's a gain of 17.
And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now, he has got the defense so much on their heels, got them looking at each other. Who's going to cover this guy, and what type of coverage can we put out there to try and slow him down?
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 41. Wentz going to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there. And it's 2nd down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Again, they'll throw with Wentz. The toss here completed to Pittman. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 31-yard line.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Throwing now is Wentz. Taken in by the tight end Doyle. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. 4 yards remain for 2nd down. Wentz now to throw. Caught left side by Hilton. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 15-yard line.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that, Burko?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
Into the red zone, Wentz. Now he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Carson Wentz. And the Colts add on to their lead. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
And now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How is the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
After review of the play, ruling on the field stays.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Badgley on for the extra point. And the lead is up to 14. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And the result for the Colts is a touchdown. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. On the return, here's King. And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
Let's go. At their own 25-yard line.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
On first down, it's Taylor. And his throw here's incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. Here's 2nd and 10.
58, right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58.
Johnston running right. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now it's Taylor. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Well, you got to think that sooner or later they're going to hit one of those, but the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for Houston. $37 yards on the punt with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Carson Wentz, along with his offense, heading back out there for their next possession. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the 3rd quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your court? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Draw play. This is Hines. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. A good pickup there, 7 yards, but it brings up 4th down.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. A 41-yard punt, 9 on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And here comes the Texans now. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
They go play action now. Taylor. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He has still not connected on a single pass in this 2nd half.
And right now, they're going through all the different reasons, the whys, the wherefores. Bottom line, got to find some completions in there and get their offense moving.
Taylor incomplete on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10. Now Taylor to throw. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure, or do they play coverage on this down?
On 3rd down, Taylor. He's going to go deep for Conley. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for them. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
Here's Cameron Johnston now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here's Carson Wentz now with the rest of his offensive unit heading onto the field. How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the 1st half, been good so far here in the 3rd quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if he can drive the bus here again on this drive. And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Wentz. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? Well, a lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the 1st half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Again, it's Johnson. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Here's Taylor to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
Kaimi Fairbairn now to attempt the Texan field goal. This one from 48 yards away. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And then we'll get the disadvantage now back down to 11. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. Rodgers on the return. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
That's it, baby. Let's go. The Colts take over first and 10 at their own 20.
Carson Wentz and the Colt offense ready to go back to work. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
He'll take a shot downfield for Pittman. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times. Tried to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on third down.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. Fair catch called for and made, but now we'll have to see about the penalty.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker, defense.
Trailing here in the second half, went for the aggressive play, got a little too aggressive.
You've got to know when to pull up, or if you're going to go for it, how to take your body across a punter's body and not into him. Not a good play at all.
Now it's 1st and 10 after a costly penalty there on 4th down. Wentz going to give this to Taylor. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave him 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Now Wentz. Flush to his right. And he'll slide to a halt here. Still a little shy of the first down marker. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Colts. They've got control of the football. They also have the lead as we start the 4th. The Colts on 3rd down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. This will be 3rd and 5. Wentz will give to Taylor on the draw. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. 103 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
They'll run with Taylor. The solid stiff arm. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line.
I think there's a fatigue factor that's kicking in defensively. You know the will is still strong, but I think the offense is starting to bend it just a little bit, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's looked that way. We'll see if they can continue this already strong drive. Now they'll throw it. Wentz. This goes out right to Doyle. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. Now a give to Taylor. Now after that last running play, we've got an offensive lineman down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Now Wentz. Out to the right and complete to Pittman. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Ball at the 6 here as they work with a 2nd and 2. Throwing is Wentz. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
after the incompletion. Here now, 3rd and 2. Here's Wentz to throw. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Neville Hewitt in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
And now the Colts call on their field goal unit here. Badgley able to knock this one through, and that will get the lead up to 14. So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helped. They're trying to salt one away in the 4th.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist, but time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. To return it now, here's King. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
The Texans take over 1st and 10.
The Texans getting set here to take over again on offense. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score.
We got 4.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnston. DeForest Buckner in on the tackle. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems like these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 50.
From the 29, Taylor. This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's 3rd down. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter, and find their way open.
He's going to go deep for Conley. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there that brings up 4th.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
Here's Cameron Johnston now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Colts getting another possession here on offense. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Wentz now on 1st down. Escaping the pressure. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Malik Collins breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. On the handoff, Taylor. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a 1st down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the 1st there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that they pick up a 1st down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news, but this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. They begin the drive with Johnston. They find some open field here. And he'll be taken down, but first he gets deep into Indianapolis territory. 65 yards rushing for him now on 17 carries. So that run there, yeah, I don't know if it's overstating things to call it a thing of beauty, but in terms of football plays, that's as good as you're going to see.
And how about the situation that we're in right now, because this is the 4th quarter. So you know there's some tired legs out there on defense and probably some tired minds as well trying to chase guys around for 4 quarters. But this is where conditioning, athleticism, that separates the good backs from the great backs, and that was an A-plus effort right there.
And he covered a lot of ground on that one, as evidenced by the final total there on next-gen stats.
Good yardage on the completion there. When they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
Johnson. Oh, good move. And he was able to shed 1 tackle but could not get away from there. Give him 3 on the gain there. 2nd and goal.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
On 2nd and goal. Taylor, open man is Cooks. He's got it. Touchdown, Texans. Brandon Cooks there to make the grab. And the Texans have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. And there was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself, no reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And here's Rodgers to return. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
The Colts take over first and 10 at their own 20.
And the Colts getting ready to go. Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here first and 10. Play action. Now Wentz. Looking deep for Hilton. And this nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They give to Taylor out of the gun. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Texans here on 3rd down, putting an extra defender in the secondary. Shotgun now for Wentz. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On the handoff, this is Taylor. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. From the 44, Wentz. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. To throw, it's Wentz. Middle of the field, he finds Pascal. And he is going to have a Colts first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. From midfield, here's Wentz. A good throw here, finding Pascal. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
Wentz now on 1st down. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Taylor. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. On the delay, here's Hines. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to perhaps salt this one away. Badgley's kick is good. And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. So that one, CD, going to make the road back a lot more difficult.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. You know, they were praying on the other sideline for a miss because now, as you pointed out, a very difficult road. Down 2 scores. You don't just need a touchdown. You need a chain of events to go your way. You've got to score, somehow get the ball back, and score again. The odds of that happening, not great in your favor.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. On the return, here's King. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. And now let's look at David Johnston. And as the numbers show, he really wasn't in the mix at the beginning, but they've got him in a rotation now, and it's proved a good move.
And that's what happens when you're a good player. There's a lot more attention drawn to you, and it's obvious that they had him in their game plan on defense, not letting him get off to a good start. But he's found a way so far here in the second half.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly. He'll air this one out deep for Davis. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Taylor flushed out right. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
You better be ready.
So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. He's going to let it fly. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
They don't want it. Keep playing hard, fellas.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Here we go. It's Taylor on 4th down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Colts are going to get the football in outstanding field position. Now the Colts offense gets ready to head back on the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Again, it's Taylor. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. They run with Hines. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They'll try the left side with Taylor. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Back to throw. Wentz. Now he'll escape to his left, and he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Carson Wentz, a 13-yard touchdown run. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Here's Badgley now to try to add the PAT. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. 5 plays there on that drive. And it's capped off by a 13-yard touchdown run. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. To return it now, here's King. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once we were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Now Taylor on first down. Eluding the pressure right. Taylor's got the first down and more. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
Now, those are the ones that hurt defensively. You do everything right. Excellent pressure, good coverage downfield, and then he slips out the back door and turns it into a nice gain.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Here's Taylor. Caught here by Conley. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. And he went in route there from the slot for the completion.
Love how he runs his routes because it's all setting up your defender. Give him a little something one way, take it the other way. Head and shoulder fake. Sometimes you make one step to the outside, then break it inside. Really well run route.
One last shot for Taylor. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it, and they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.